If you have a Lamborghini Temerario, or in fact you're lucky enough to have one of these on order already, then you need to watch this video. So welcome to another video. We've actually been on the road today. We have gone north. This is Topaz Scotland in Glasgow. This is the northernmost Topaz studio in the world, and you can probably tell because I'm getting rained on as we speak. So I won't talk for too long. Get inside in the dry and I'll show you around our brand new facility up here in Glasgow to serve all of our loyal customers and dealers in Scotland. First thing customers are greeted by is our reception area where they can have a coffee, do some work in quiet if they like where their car's being worked on, and of course have that amazing view straight into our bright workshop you can see a lot more of in this video. This is one I'm quite proud of. This is a grey Land Rover Defender, and you might think, has he gone colourblind? No, I haven't. Underneath this is a grey car, but it's got our electric blue Topaz colour change paint protection film all over it. So all of the blue that you see is actually paint protection film. It's not a vinyl wrap. It's much thicker. It's much higher quality. It's got beautiful glossy reflections that actually match the quality of the paint underneath. So we have an OEM paint look on here, but it's paint protection film. Every single panel cut to size on our plotter, so no cutting on the car, all ready to go, like pieces of jigsaw all the way around the car, and the car has been transformed. It looks amazing. It's self-healing, it's protective, so the paint underneath is completely protected, won't get any stone chips under there, and it looks fantastic. Customer is about to pick this one up, and they're very, very happy with it. Porsche 718 Cayman GT4, it's a used car, but obviously can still benefit from our paint protection film, and that's exactly why it's here. Then down the line, we've got 3 brand new Range Rovers, all from various Sytner Land Rover dealerships, so thank you for them to sending us down. And every single one, green one, grey one, and a black one, are having our satin conversion. So that's a clear paint protection film with a satin finish, so it keeps the colour that's underneath, but transforms it to satin and also protects it. So you can see the clear difference here, satin already on the bonnet, and currently unprotected, still in gloss, green paintwork underneath. So it gives it a unique look and protects it. So here we have it, the Lamborghini Temerario. And what makes this car so special? First of all, the particular car in front of us is a stunner, finished in the glorious Verde Hermes paint from our friends at Lamborghini Edinburgh. In fact, we have another car from Lamborghini Edinburgh just behind the camera, which you'll have to wait to see. But this car is one of the first in the country. Here with us for paint protection film, but I'll talk all about the intricacies of what that involves later in the video. For now, for those that are just a fan of the car, talk a little bit about the car. So this is the first mid-engined V8 Lamborghini since the Jalpa in the 1980s. It follows on in that baby Lamborghini lineage from the Gallardo and the Huracan, which famously had that screaming, naturally aspirated V10. But unfortunately, with the way of the world, they've had to reduce the engine size, they've had to make it turbocharged, and they've had to make it hybrid. But have they done a good job of it? And the answer is yes. This is a brand new engine. It's not Audi's V8 twin turbo that gets used in the Urus. It's a whole new engine, 4-litre flat plane crank, producing with the hybrid system over 900 horsepower. So this baby Lamborghini certainly is not a baby anymore, doing well over 200 miles an hour and 0 to 60 in just 2.7 seconds. So this car packs a punch. It's got hybrid motors, 2 on the front axle and 1 on the rear with the gearbox. And because they wanted to keep that raw character, over 10,000 RPM redline, which is the first time ever on a Lamborghini. Most of the power actually just comes from the engine, and that hybrid system is just there to eliminate things like turbo lag. It's not just the hybrid technology that makes this well and truly a Lamborghini for the 21st century. It is very clever all over, including aerodynamics. These hexagonal lights, they don't just look cool, they actually have a Venturi air intake inside, which speeds up the air, which means it can actually use a smaller radiator than there would have been there in the Huracan. And then here, this isn't just a bad panel gap with a headlight inside it. It actually directs the air in multiple directions. One flicks it up over the roof to cool the engine and to activate the aerodynamics on that rear wing. And another sends air down the side of the car for the air intake here, which also has multiple intakes for things like the hybrid system and the engine. As is tradition with all Lamborghinis, it's named after a fighting bull. Temerario was a fighting bull back in 1875, and it meant fierce and courageous. That fierce and courageous energy continues round the back of the car. The lines, the curves, The way that these rear tyres are completely exposed, 325 cross-section tyres with no bodywork behind them. I bet they fling rocks at cars that are following it close, believe me. The shape of the tail lights matching the shape of those front intakes, matching the shape of the exhaust. And this is meant to be inspired by a motorbike exhaust, the positioning and the height. And then, of course, there's that engine. It's a 4-litre flat clean crank. It's called a hot V, which means the turbochargers are inside the V shape. Actually, they're so big, they're more like on top of the V shape. That produces over 800 horsepower, coupled to that hybrid system, giving around about 907 combined total horsepower, making this a complete rocket ship. In fact, the way it revs up to 10,000 is so unlike anything else on the market that everyone that drives it has to recalibrate their brain, not to short shift, not to hear the revs where it'd be a good place to change in a normal car, but actually to let it rev all the way out to get the maximum performance out of it. Enough talk about this car for now. We've got a lot more to show you, including another Temerario from Lamborghini Edinburgh, as well as the rest of the workshop here at Topaz Scotland. This car's a work in progress. As you can see, we've kicked the guys working on it off. One of 2 Temerarios being PPF today here at Topaz Glasgow, and actually one of something like 8 Temerarios being PPF at Topaz across the UK as we speak. We've got cars in Hatfield, we've got cars in Bristol, we've got cars in London, we've got cars in Topaz Midlands, we've got Temerarios absolutely everywhere, including these 2 here. They're all coming from our dealers, whether it's the demonstrators or the very first cars being delivered. And of course, Topaz is trusted to be the first to work on them, which means we've patterned these cars from scratch, because of course we've never seen these cars before. So everything's brand new, and then we're protecting them. We're getting them out the door, ready for the dealers to show them to their prospective customers, and of course hand them over when applicable. Obviously the Temerarios are pretty special, but I don't think anyone will argue when I say this is the most special car here today at Topaz Glasgow. This is the Ferrari SF90 XX Stradale. This thing is unbelievable. Carbon fiber absolutely everywhere, even the carbon fiber wheels, tailor-made livery, including the number 21 painted in the door. This is a very special car. Of course, it's here for paint protection film, but notice where it's sat at the moment. This is our wash bay, state-of-the-art wash bay, lighting all the way around. That means there's no shadows anywhere, so no little piece of dirt will get missed, so no contamination underneath the PPF, so we can do a proper job. Car looks amazing here in our wash bay, actually. I really enjoy the spec on this one with the white pinstripes along the carbon. Yeah, it's come from our friends at Ferrari Glasgow, and it will be leaving here with full paint protection film. Another car from Ferrari Glasgow, Ferrari Purosangue, of course, currently in the process, right before our eyes, of having paint protection film installed. Actually got 2 Purosangues here today, another one in the corner. Can't show you that one, it's covered up unfortunately. Finished having its satin conversion. Range Rover looks amazing. Land Rover Defender also had a satin conversion. These 2 cars look really stealth, a really mean look, and out and about they're going to look absolutely fantastic. But let's get back to that Temerario. I want to talk about paint protection film. This is the most important thing. If anyone out there has one of these, this is what you need to know. First of all, Topaz, the first in the country to work on any of these kind of cars. These demonstrators have come straight from the dealerships. They trust us to be the first to protect their cars to the highest standards. That means we've patterned these cars, so we have the digital patterns for every single panel on this car. We take a template, we digitize it, we refine it, we test fit it, and then we install it on every car thereafter. So every single panel, no matter how big or small, we have a digital template for. That means at the push of a button on our plotter, we can cut it out and protect it. That means no bulking on the car, no blades, no dodgy cut lines along the edges, no improper fit around apertures, parking sensors, badges. Everything fits perfectly like you'd expect from Topaz Detailing. We wrap around panel edges where possible for maximum longevity, to stop lifting, and of course to get the maximum protection. But what makes this car a little bit different to others? Things like that enormous exposed rear wheel down here that I mentioned. That means when requested, we'll even double up on paint protection film in certain areas to make sure all of those stones that fly off the back of this car don't completely muller that rear end. We'll even double up the sills if the customer wants, because again, from those big front tyres, this car being all-wheel drive with serious power, they'll flick up stones, and lovely green paintwork like this will get absolutely destroyed. Then there's things to consider like the heat from the engine bay. Certain places where you can't necessarily put film too close to the exhaust, to the engine, or it'll melt and look silly. So all of these little things from our experience, our over 15 years in the PPF game, are things we've learned along the way. So we know exactly how to handle a car like this to make sure it's done right. And it's things like that that let us offer PPF around the world with a 10-year warranty. And it's not just those usual high impact zones, it's all the weird curves and shapes and aerodynamics that this car has, the way these vents go inside here and around here. It's not like a Porsche where everything's smooth. Really a lot of work goes into this car, a lot of pieces to make sure that it's protected to the best standard with the minimum joins, so you don't see nasty joins in random places like some companies might do. You know, the beauty of our PPF is if it's a good job, which it always is, you don't even know that it's there. We don't stop there though. Paint protection film actually doesn't always refer to paint. We protect things like carbon fiber, where the seatbelt would rub against that lovely satin carbon fiber and over the years scratch it. We protect the screens to stop nasty fingerprints, and actually got a lot of screens in this car. The driver's display, the infotainment, and the passenger display. And on that topic, this interior is exquisite. They've not gone for all those silly haptic buttons. We've still got big knobs, big buttons everywhere, so you know exactly how to control that over 900 horsepower without getting distracted by silly little things like haptic switches. But overall, it's a really nice clean interior here with PPF installed where applicable. So if you've got one of these cars already on your driveway or on order or are thinking about having one in the future, then make sure you give Topaz a call, whether that's Topaz Scotland or down in London or anywhere in the world, to be the first to work on your Temerario. So that was the Lamborghini Temerario, actually more than one Lamborghini Temerario here at Topaz Scotland in Glasgow. Hope you enjoyed looking at the car and of course a tour of our facility here. And don't forget, stay tuned for the next video.